When people invite you to a summer get together, but they know that you have a particular way of eating or you have particular health goals that you're working on, in my experience at least, they often assume that you want to bring a vegetable dish. I never bring a vegetable dish to a gathering because you know what happens when I get there? I'm eating vegetables. When I go to a summer gathering, I want to bring something that is balanced, something that contains a variety of food groups, a variety of nutrients that I find delicious. So I know no matter what else is there or what else is happening that day, I have something that I'm going to enjoy eating that's going to make me feel good, give me energy, and give me satisfaction.
Hey there. Welcome to Be Well with Steph, the podcast, the show for women who know that personal wellness can be an actively pursued goal and who are ready to tackle building healthier daily habits with a little bit of good humor, a little bit of grace, and a lot of coffee. I'm Steph Genko, your holistic nutrition coach and your host, and I'm here to help empower you to create and maintain a healthy lifestyle you love, a lifestyle that gives you the strength, energy, and confidence to go after your wildest dreams.
At the time that this episode is first airing, it's my Veganversary. This is the time of year that I celebrate my transition to a vegan lifestyle and a plant-based diet, and this year it is 4 years. I cannot even believe it's been 4 years. And I have learned so much and changed and grown in so many ways over the past 4 years, not only in what I eat, but in the way that my lifestyle is and the way that my outlook is on the world and so many things. And I would love at some point to share more of that with you about my transition to becoming vegan, my transition to embracing a plant-based diet. Seems like a topic for a different episode, but I'm just acknowledging today that this is the time of year that I made that transition. And it was summertime, right? It was entering into summertime, which in a lot of ways was really great because summer tends to lend itself more readily to, I think, fruits and vegetables, right? To fresh foods, to people eating things that are raw or colorful or just a little more simple. You know, when I think of winter cooking or cold weather cooking, I think a little more home style, a little more recipes, stews and soups, those sorts of things, which did take some time to learn how to make in new and different ways. But summertime was such a perfect time to start transitioning the way that I ate. So if you are thinking that you would like to embrace more plant-based eating, you'd like to maybe give a vegan diet or a vegan lifestyle a try, or just incorporate more fruits and vegetables into your diet, I really encourage you that this is a great time to do it. There's an abundance of fresh foods around us that are more affordable at this time of year than any other time, that are accessible at farm stands and farmers markets, that are in your local grocery stores. And lots of times, people tend to enjoy more salads and fresh foods now than they would at other times of the year. Not that you always have to eat salad when you are plant-based or vegan. Common misconception. I only recently started eating more salads. I used to really not enjoy them, which is really funny when people are like, "Oh, you're vegan, you don't eat salads." I'm like, I don't love them. I have learned to love them and I found new and creative ways to eat them. But this is all besides the point. This episode is about bringing dishes, simple dishes, to summer potlucks that support your health and wellness goals. I have 5 recipes, recipe ideas, and then a couple of actual recipes that I'm going to share with you that will hopefully help you be able to bring balanced dishes to your summer events, to potlucks. Maybe if you are hosting an event and you want to make sure that there are balanced dishes for yourself or for your guests that are attending. These are kind of my go-tos from over the past 4 years that I find are simple to make, easy ingredients, accessible ingredients, and that people really enjoy, as well as keep me full during those summer activities.
pause here for just a minute and take the opportunity to personally invite you to hang out. Well, hang out with us online. Be Well Together is my monthly membership program that I am completely obsessed with, and I want you to hear why. Do you want to learn more about nutrition and healthy habits, but you feel overwhelmed with the sheer amount of conflicting information on the internet? Well, I've got you covered with 2 mini trainings a month crafted especially for my members. Do you want to grab a quick new recipe to try for dinner? Hit up my hand-picked recipe bank. Maybe you're struggling with your mindset or your habits and you need someone to bounce your ideas off of? You can post in our member forum for some friendly discussion and support. The beauty of Be Well Together is that you don't have to go it alone. You get to go it with us. You have a safe and trusted place to ask your nutrition and wellness questions, get fresh recipes and resources, learn through easily digestible, pun intended, mini lessons that you can watch and rewatch at your own pace. And did I mention that my new monthly webinar series is included in the membership? $20 a month, access to all the things. Visit BeWellWithStuff.com/together, linked in the show notes for all the details. Can't wait to hang out with you there. Okay, number 1. Everybody loves salsa, right? There's always salsa and chips at events, at least with my friends. There's always salsa and chips. If I want to elevate that dish a little bit so that I know there's more balance in it, I add in corn, which in this context I would include as kind of a vegetable and kind of a whole grain. So it has that going for it. And then I would include beans. They're complex carbs with lots of fiber and also protein. So when I'm eating salsa with frozen corn mixed in and a can of black beans, it took me 2 seconds to make. I can eat it with tortilla chips, but if there's a salad at the party, I can also throw it on top of the salad and know that I am getting all the nutrients that are going to keep me full and happy. Or, of course, I can eat it with the tortilla chips and just have a delicious snack. So elevated salsa with the corn and beans is my number 1 quick go-to. My second favorite idea is to create some kind of grazing board. It could be a hummus platter, or you can call it a grazing board, whatever you like. But I like to take a big cutting board and add in a couple kinds of hummus, then some whole grain dippers, maybe pita bread or a whole grain cracker of some kind, and then vegetables, raw vegetables or gently roasted or grilled vegetables, maybe some kind of fruit like grapes or pineapple or watermelon, maybe some nuts sprinkled on there, some dates or olives or pickles or pepperoncini or whatever you like, to create a grazing board, a snacking board that has all of the balanced elements of a meal on it, that has protein and healthy fats and fiber and fruits and vegetables that I could munch at all afternoon or evening long and know that I'm filling myself up with nutrients. This is also really versatile because if you include kind of a variety of little snack options on there, there's often something for everyone. So even if they might think that hummus and vegetables is not their style, there might be something else on there that is familiar or comfortable to people or that they love. And a big kind of platter or board like this can be a good entry point for people trying something new that they haven't had before. Maybe you throw on there one unique ingredient. Maybe I would do like tempeh cubes or something where people may not have typically eaten that, but because it is combined with a variety of familiar things, it might give them the opportunity to try something new. My third go-to is to make coleslaw, but kick it up a notch again. I like to make coleslaw all the time at home. If you've been following along any of my shopping journeys, there's always a bag of coleslaw. It's very cheap, very nutritious, very versatile. So I will keep coleslaw mixes on hand, and I like to lighten up the dressing a little bit by using some lemon juice or maybe a little mustard or apple cider vinegar in combination with a little bit of vegan mayo is what I use, and make a dressing. So you can make your coleslaw kind of traditionally the way that you or your family would like to eat it. Lighten up the dressing a little bit. And then I like to add quinoa. That's my secret ingredient. If you don't eat quinoa, you could add brown rice or another whole grain. I like to add quinoa because it is in and of itself a complete protein, high in fiber,
And then maybe I give it a sprinkle of sunflower seeds for the healthy fats. And suddenly my coleslaw that was just a vegetable dish is now a whole meal. See what I mean about not just bringing a vegetable to the gathering? Because if I just brought coleslaw, I'm just might be eating coleslaw if that's the thing that is comfortable or safe for me at that gathering. If I add grain, protein, fiber, fat, that's something that I know I can rely on as a satisfying and energizing meal if I need to. Okay, the last two things I'm going to share with you are things that I have recipes for. They're on my blog at bewellwithsteph.com/blog, but they'll also be linked in the show notes here. And these two are things that take a little bit more prep or a little bit more cooking, but have definitely been fan favorites. So I wanted to share them with you too. The first one is a summer salad that's an avocado chickpea salad. I love to use tomatoes, especially when they're in season toward the middle and end of summertime. I love to use fresh tomatoes and fresh herbs if I have access to them, maybe basil or parsley or chives, onion, garlic. And then you'll see in the recipe, it's chickpeas, tomato, herbs, and then we use some avocado in the salad. Some of the avocado we whip into an oil-free dressing that's loaded with those healthy fats from the avocado. We use lemon juice so it's bright and zesty, but also super satisfying. And it's also colorful. You can make it with ingredients out of your garden. You could add other things to it if you wanted to, a diced pepper or diced cucumber or anything like that. Super simple. Oh boy, this is going to be a lot of S's. Super simple summer salad. There you go. Okay, avocado chickpea salad. The last idea for you is, if you're from Western New York, maybe this will be up your alley. If not, you have to let me know what you think, is my vegan buffalo dip. I am obsessed with this dip. I have brought it to parties with groups of friends who are not vegan, and they also love it because everybody loves some Frank's hot sauce. So vegan buffalo dip, my version includes jackfruit and silken tofu. If you're not familiar with either of those ingredients, this might really put you out on a limb, but I promise that they're easy and they're forgiving. And the directions are step by step, but basically you would drain and chop up the jackfruit. It gets some seasoning and baked in the oven, so it dries out a little bit and it's more of a chickeny texture if you're familiar with like a typical chicken wing dip. So it'll dry out in that texture. The silken tofu gets blended up with some other ingredients and some spices, nutritional yeast, garlic, lemon juice, those sorts of things, and it makes a creamy, delicious sauce. Depending on the seasonings you use, it can be more like a ranch or a blue cheese, and I'm not going to start a ranch versus blue cheese debate on this podcast, my buffalo friends, but when you bake it all together and I like to put a sprinkle of vegan cheese on the top of it. When you bake it all together with the Frank's hot sauce in the sauce, oh my gosh, it definitely gives those buffalo summertime vibes, and not just for summer too. This is a great dish once football season comes around too. We'll have to do something new about football season when it gets here again. But for now, check that out for your summer gatherings. Again, it's a great entry point for people who are not necessarily comfortable with or familiar with eating vegan food yet. But also, I know that when I take a dip made with jackfruit and tofu, I'm basically taking the fruit and protein, right? I'm just taking a tofu-based dish. So I know that that's going to give me protein and more substantial energy. And then I like to dip carrots, celery, those typical things that would go with a wing dip, maybe peppers or a whole grain cracker. And if I load up like that, tofu dip, vegetables, whole grain crackers, I've created an entire meal around what would otherwise be seen as a snack or an app, right? So those are my 5 ideas for you. Again, the rundown, it was the salsa with the corn and beans. Elevate your salsa. A hummus platter or grazing board with a variety of healthful snack options. Elevated coleslaw where we're adding in a grain with the protein and seeds. I love quinoa. My avocado chickpea salad linked in the show notes, and my vegan buffalo dip linked in the show notes. If you are interested in more discussion about summer socializing or dishes to bring to summer parties, how to handle your own eating when you're going to an event, how to host a summer event while still being mindful of your wellness and health goals, my membership program for July might be a good fit for you. At the time of this recording, we are almost to the beginning of July, and the topic for July in my membership program is going to be summer socializing. So that might be something you would love to talk about more and find a way to make sure that your summer fun also helps support your health and wellness goals and helps you to feel confident about entering social situations. I would love to have you on board for Be Well Together. You can get that information in the show notes as well.
Thank you so much for listening to Be Well with Steph, the podcast. When there are a million things that you could be doing, I appreciate your choosing to hang out here. And I am proud of you for continuing to work on your own wellness journey. I invite you to head over to BeWellWithSteph.com for the details from this episode, my blog, upcoming events, and lots of other resources. If you enjoyed today's show, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Be Well with Steph everywhere you like to hang out on social media, so come on over and say hi. Until next time, my friends, be well.